Hi everyone, Anthony Morganti here. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you may know that at the very end of every single YouTube video, I thank all of you for watching my videos. But if you're like most people, you probably don't stick around until the very end. When you sense the presenter is getting to the end, they're wrapping up, you probably switch that video off and you go on to another video. So every now and then, I'm going to switch things up. I'm going to thank you at the beginning of the video. So I'd like to thank all of you for watching my videos. Currently, I have over 400,000 YouTube subscribers. My photography newsletter has over 10,000 subscribers. My email marketing newsletter is approaching 14,000 subscribers. I am very humbled by your support. Thank you very much. I'm going to attempt to improve my content in 2026 to make things even better. But again, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Now, with that said, what are we going to be doing today? Well, today I'm going to give you a Lightroom Classic tip that will hopefully help you get your best edit possible. Let me show you on this image. This is an unedited RAW file, and I'm just going to do a very simple edit on it. First of all, I'm going to tighten it up a little bit, so I'm going to open up the crop tool, and I think I'll pull in from the left side and tighten it up a touch. Then I'm going to go to the edit panel, and I want to edit this in black and white, so I'm going to click the black and white button. I'm going to open up the shadows right away, bring in the highlights quite a bit. We're going to get a white point by holding in the Option key on my Mac, Alt key on the PC, click on the whites slider. I got an almost entirely black screen, tiny bit of white coming right there. And if I move this to the right, you'll see more white come through. That means I'm blowing out the highlights in those areas. If you're blowing out the highlights, that means no detail is there. And if you print it, no ink will get put down on the paper. Now, personally, I don't like to blow out the highlights, so I'll minimize that as much as possible by keeping that more towards the left. Similarly, for the blacks, when you hold in that Alt Option key and click on it, you may get an entirely white screen or an almost entirely white screen like I have here. Where that black is coming through, that means you're crushing the shadows. If you're crushing the shadows, that means it's absolute black. No detail's going to be there. And if you print it, black ink will get put down on the paper. Now, personally, I don't mind crushing the shadows a little bit, but I don't like blowing out the highlights usually at all. So for me, that's a pretty good edit. I like to have absolute black on my image to almost absolute white. Now, I'll add some clarity and I'll add some texture. And then we'll go to the black and white mix. And I think I want to make the sky look a little more dramatic, so I'll move blue down. I want to do something with the grass and make it more like tonal variants. So I'm going to make the yellow components of the green grass brighter, the greens darker, not that much dark, but a little darker. And then I think we'll finish this off with a vignette. So we'll go to Effects and we'll put a darker vignette on it. Okay, I'm done. I want to see a before after. One way to do that is to tap the backslash key. I tap it, there's before, there's after. The problem, though, is the before is the unedited RAW file after the crop. And you could see that it's color, and I'm not maybe really getting a good before after. I'd prefer to see an unedited black and white image. Well, how you could do that is open up the left panel when you're in the Develop module. I currently have mine closed. And if you go to History, you could see my editing history is here. And at this point right here is when I converted it into black and white. What you can do is right-click at that point, and you'll get a little menu. And what you want to do is you want to go down to Copy History Step Settings to Before. So just do that. Now, when you tap that backslash key, the before will be that step in your history. And the after, of course, is your final step. So there's before and there's after. And that may give you a better comparison so that you could determine whether or not you have a decent edit. So again, there's before and there's after. Now, it's not just for editing a black and white image. For example, let's go to this color image. So I have this one, and you can see that it has not been edited. It's just been imported. And I'll close down that left panel. I just like to have a little more room. Now this image is a little crooked, so I'm going to go to the crop tool. The way I like to straighten an image is just to come off the image to the right. You also could come off to the left. And when you do, click with the left mouse button, you can just drag up or down, in this case up, to straighten it. Then we're going to go to the basic panel. I'm going to edit this in color, so I'm going to bring highlights down. I'll open up shadows. I'll get that white and black point the way I like to do it, holding in the Option key on my Mac, Alt key on the PC. Just move it when I see that color come through. Just back it off till all that dissipates. Then do the same thing for the blacks. And I don't mind, again, crushing the shadows just a little bit. For me, that's a pretty good edit. Let's add some clarity, maybe a little texture, maybe some vibrance. I think that's a pretty cool edit. Okay, let's say I like this edit here, but I want to try some other things. And I'm not sure if these other things are going to be beneficial to the image, but I like the edit where it is now. So what I will do is I'll go over and I'll again open this left-hand panel and I'll go to that history tab. And at this point, I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy history step settings to before at this point. Then I'll close that down again just because I like it closed. Now I'll do this kind of experimental stuff I might want to do. What I want to do maybe is make the area behind the deer brighter. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to open up masking and I'm going to click on background and I'll get a background mask. But I don't want to make all of that red area brighter, just the area behind the deer. So I'm going to intersect this mask with another mask. To do that, hold in the Alt Option key again, and this Add Subtract button will turn into an intersect button. Click on that, and I'm going to go down to Radial Gradient. Now, when I draw a radial gradient, the actual mask will only be where the radial gradient and the background mask overlap. Now, since the deer isn't selected at all, when I draw my radial gradient, even if I draw it over the deer won't get selected because the mask isn't on the deer, the background mask. So it's only where the two intersect. So it's going to be something like that, right? Now I'll put it right there. And then what we'll do is we'll go to, I think we're actually try effects, and I'm going to go to dehaze and move it to the left. And you can see how that kind of brightens that up. Now, if you want to, I could move this around. And again, it doesn't matter because it's only going to be where that original background mask was, which was really everything except the deer, and where this radial gradient overlap. That's the only place it'll be. Now I could grab these handles and move them out. Now you can see how when I move this top one up, it's moving the bottom one equally. If I just want to move the top one by itself, hold in the Alt Option key and click on it, and then you can move it all by itself. And that's what I want to do. I want it more behind the deer. And then maybe we'll go to tone and we'll make it a little brighter. Then maybe I'm done with masking, I think. I'll go back to the basic panel and I'll go back to vibrance, and I'm going to take some of the color out. And then I'm going to go to effects, and I'm going to give it a lighter vignette. So we're kind of, and it's going to be heavily feathered. All right, so we're kind of adding this kind of mist to the image. Now, remember, over here on the left-hand panel, in the History tab, I set our before setting to this area right here. So all I need, well, down here actually. So now to get a before-after, when I tap that backslash key, it's going to go to that image, that area. So it's going to right here in my workflow. So right there, the before, and there's the after. There's the before, and there's the after. Two very different edits. Which one do I like better? I probably like this one a little better. So if I do like that one better, and I just want to get rid of all the ones before or I did after it, just click on that step so it's right there. And then I could right click and I could clear history above this step. And now I just got rid of all that stuff I did with the masks and everything else. But my whole point of doing this video is this is one way in Lightroom Classic, one technique you could employ that hopefully will help you get the best edit possible, because a lot of times you could go a lot of different ways with an edit. As I did with this image, I made it very colorful and, you know, a lot of clarity and texture. But another way is to make it more ethereal, and the way I did that was brightening behind it, brightening the edges, things like that. So I wanted to see what that ethereal look like. And it really is kind of a subjective thing. Maybe some of you watching this liked the ethereal look better than this more colorful look, but that's fine. I wouldn't have known, you wouldn't have known unless you tried it. And if you tried it and didn't like it, and you wanted to kind of get an A/B, you would have got the original raw file unless you changed that step like I did by right-clicking. Now, there's other ways you could do this. You could do snapshots. I could do a snapshot at this point. Click the snapshot icon. Give it, I'll just call it colorful. You could give it a name. Click create. Then do that edit like I did where I made it look more ethereal. Then create a snapshot of that. And then all I would have to do is click between the two snapshots. And that's another way to do the before after. Another way is you could create a virtual copy. The way I create a virtual copy is I hit Command, single quote or apostrophe on my keyboard, and it will create a virtual copy. It's Control apostrophe on a PC. So if you do that, you'll get another image, copy of the image. Now here you could do your ethereal look and then just click between the two of them to give you a before after if you want to try that way. So there's 3 different ways. One way I showed in detail how you could do this to, again, all I'm trying to do is to give you the tools so that you could get the best edit possible when using Lightroom Classic. And I'm going to say it again. Thank you, everyone who watches my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon.